Hi, Luca. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Pretty fine. Surviving coronavirus here in Poland, in Krakow. Yeah,
Okay,
besides that, pretty good.
okay. And but you've been living in Poland for how long now?
Almost 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Almost.
And you speak Polish in the meantime.
Trochę rozumiem I trochę mówić po polsku. So yeah, a little bit of speaking. I almost have A2. So yeah,
Okay,
from time to
very good.
time.
Okay. So of course, Poland is also affected by the corona crisis. So what measures does the Polish government take?
Well, the measures implemented by the current government here were pretty much hard, but appreciated as far as I got from the polls. Uh, so far, well, they closed all the international transports. They blocked the borders, and really, how to say, all the public gatherings are stopped. And I know university museums, everything like that. Many people in the streets, when I go really rarely out of the streets, are, how to say, keeping distance 1 meter one to another. And all of the businesses, almost all the offices, corporation, left people home with home office. So every kind of a measure like that. Yeah, that's pretty much of it. Of course, it's very strange for people. All this, going to supermarkets, take all the toilet paper and all the food happen also here. And there's been, of course, like good reaction from the public so far, despite, current government is a little bit controversial. But yeah, that is.
Yeah. Do you have enough toilet paper at home yourself?
Yeah, we do have. Luckily, I'm living with three fellow Italians, so we now also have other option like bidet. So yeah, it's
Okay, but
pretty nice.
did you take part in this stock in this did you also go to shop a lot in the supermarket, or do you think like that, oh my god, that's totally exaggerated and I don't participate in that?
Uh, I been just once, and it was crazy. Not as crazy, but I think it was. I would just make a comparison as crazy as it would be for Christmas. Like all people just going to shops to buy stuff for Christmas time.
Mm.
But people weren't panicking. We're just doing regular stuff. The whole thing to me, which I would like to I avoided, was mostly connected to the how to say the fact that people are just over panicking and yeah, for many things. And I saw like scenes like people sneezing and people just getting away from there. Yeah, that was pretty much the craziest thing happen, and I saw which I saw, but besides that, nothing big so far.
Yeah, public life has changed, but that's what you said. Also, student life basically doesn't exist that much anymore because universities are closed as well. So,
Yeah.
how are the Polish antennae doing?
So far, I'm following up a little bit what their AEGEE Krakow's doing, because it's my city, and they've been all the events have been cancelled. One RDC, which was supposed to be in 2+ weeks, has been cancelled, and many projects are a little bit rediscussed. So far, AEGEE Krakow organized a big internal chat and internal Skype call. I saw like the results was pretty nice. Luckily, very good with multimedia and stuff. About the other locals, as far as I got, they're really into social media and stuff. So somehow they're keeping connected each other. Of course, they can't gather, uh, but they are organizing some way somehow. And I think for Warsaw, uh, I don't know how much would be probably a spoiler, but we're rediscussing about one event. As far as I got, we're discussing about one event. So yeah, and yesterday, no, sorry, today I was supposed to host a European Truck Red team. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. And of course it got cancelled. So no guest today at my place, and no AEGEE Krakow as well. So yeah, but
Mm.
pretty sad.
I guess also for other projects like some universities, there will be consequences. Um, can the antennae properly prepare for organizing some universities at the moment?
I don't know. I mean, everything will be probably postponed. I really hope so, because postponing it will be a really good thing in this month, which where everything will be shut down. And also other major university events like Juvenalia, which is popular event in all the university cities in Poland, will be postponed as far as I got. So it depends. I think it will be hard to predict it at the moment, because we don't know which are the measure which can be up in the next days. But I really hope so. I would like to say that.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about Italy.
Yeah.
You are originally from northern Italy, which is one of the areas most affected by the coronavirus. And so can you tell us a bit about, so how much do you follow the news in Italy, and how are your friends and your family holding up?
Tough question. I'm from province of Brescia, which is like 45 kilometers. My village is 45 kilometers away from the epicenter where there was the outbreak in Italy. So it's really tough. The situation I've seen during the last days, something on average like 40 people dying every day, despite we have some of the best European hospitals, and two are in my city, like about oncology and other cancer diseases. About that, in the media has been. I would rather talk more about the regional media, because Lombardy has been the most heated region. Uh, when I go see, I don't know, the newspapers from Bergamo and Brescia or Milan, Cremona, this area, uh, it's really bad to see like how many pages there are about people who actually pass away due to complication of coronavirus. But it's pretty tough to read. A friend of my dad passed away, which is
horrible.
Yeah, I don't know, made me speechless about it. But yeah, I mean, as far as I got, most of people are still locked in, and luckily they're taking this whole measure really carefully in order to take all the intensive lines of the hospitals as much as more possible free. Because of course, there's coronavirus, but what happens if there's a guy who have a car accident, so it's still hard to deal with, but I think we'll manage. I follow these news every day, and some governors from the south told that probably this lockdown will be extended, because they might expect to have an outbreak of the virus coming afterwards. I read from the governor of Campania region, so Naples, Salerno, just to focus a little bit, because like the peak might be coming afterwards, because of course the emergency started in the north and a little bit is moving to the south slowly, of course. So they might expect this, according to the healthcare system over there in that region. So yeah, it's tough, but I saw like lots of people are cheering up one together, and it has been really, good way to see like how country united. I think the type of lots of people are taking differences aside, which is nice to see, especially in these tough moments.
Yeah, it shows a bit like that these crises like these show the face of humanity. Like there's some people show their bad side and some people show their good sides. And like some people are just taking everything from the supermarket and behave very egoistic, and but you also see incredible acts of solidarity, people helping each other. And so you can visit, everybody saw probably the videos from Italy where people like making this concerts in the courtyards.
Yeah, on balconies. Yeah, it's pretty much amazing. I mean, some of them are really very, very funny videos, but it's really nice to keep the mood up. Also, the whole of internet in Italy, about all the social media, also like the lots of meme pages. Today they organize so-called meme phone. It's like the marathon of the memes. And they create a big event where we start sharing memes, or doing a or I don't know, doing like kind of a marathon of memes and video memes and stuff. Or I don't know, there was a lot of artists or singers coming up doing online concerts. I don't know, it has been incredibly amazing how people adapted to this, and just to cheer up, entertain people who are just stuck home, or I don't know, even elder people are just stuck home and being so much frightened about it. So yeah, that's amazing.
Do you personally know about people who are in quarantine right now and cannot leave their houses?
Well, I mean, right now, you mean like with coronavirus, like
Yes.
where, uh, just in my village, which is roughly speaking 7,000 inhabitants, there have been 12 cases, and according to what my parents told me, there has been I think like maybe if like things like not anymore 12 but around 20. And yeah, this people, I think some is they somehow familiar to me, and they're quarantined but they're communicating so far, because of course like social media, there's groups for everything, and of course there's also groups to talk about villages. It's good to see like solidarity from others, because of course a moment like this can literally tear you down. uh, and yeah, it's good to see these things. Of course, since it's internet and we know how it works a little bit, of course there's also I know plotting theories and stuff, but yeah, most of people just don't care. They're really pushing for solidarity on each other, because it can literally hit anybody. So that is.
Do you think other countries should have followed the lead of Italy and adopt hard measures, drastic measures faster? I mean, we could all see that what's happening in Italy, and still in Germany we're still making jokes, not jokes, but still not taking that seriously about the situation. And but now we do the same as Italians are doing.
I think it should be the way of doing. It should be like an European response into this, maybe coming, I don't know, from Commission or something. Because what I saw is like also Poland closed borders, and it's a very trusting measure. Czech Republic, Slovakia, which is the neighbor country, did the same. Uh, I really hope. I was talking during the last days with other people from Asia. What are the measures ongoing? There's one member of Asia Brescia was in A Coruña for Erasmus, and she told me like yesterday's was everything was somehow everything was open. And on the other side, I was talking with another Spanish friend and he was telling me like, yeah, but people start getting panicked because a lot of people are freezing. Of course, I just made an example. It's not. I don't want to say Spain was a bad example, because I also say that Sanchez, the prime minister, intervened really toughly on this. But I think some weeks of block would be a really good response in order not to make it spread. And we have elderly people everywhere in Europe. I mean, we have such high life expectancy. So, or
Yeah.
if not talking about elderly people, there's a lot of people who have, I don't know, immunodeficiency, or they're weak because they had cancer or stuff. So I think it's better to just think to the others. You never know who you met, and you never know what is his or her health condition. So it's better to proceed that way, I think.
Yeah, it's also interesting, or rather sad to see basically that there's only unilateral actions. When the European Union is supposed to be a union, there doesn't seem to be like feeling of being united and united actions. So it's like some countries hear from media, some governments hear from media that another country is suddenly taking some action. That's, I guess, not so how it's supposed to be. What's your take on that?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly do think that nobody expected how to behave to this, because it was so much abrupt and so much hard hitting that took everyone with surprise. I don't blame, the EU or anything, but I think it would be really interesting for them to come up with some emergency meeting. I mean, they can organize Skype like we are doing right now. They don't have to do, whatever big deal of meeting and still come up with, I don't know, suspending Schengen, I think would be not the stupidest idea. And I don't know, just like maybe foresee some packages, because once you block everything and you lock everything in within the countries, lots of consequences happen, not just economic consequences, but I don't know, even food supply, things like that. Or in Italy, there has been a rumor yesterday about reconverting some industries to produce medical stuff, or reconverting the Expo 2015 area into a new hospital. So imagine, like 5 years ago, you could have gone there to visit the expo about food, and this year can turn into an improvised hospital. So I really wish that they can act this. I really wish, I don't know, they can take strong economic measures, because this just goes beyond every single prediction you might have at a few days ago.
Yeah, let's talk about AEGEE. You are project manager of the AEGEE Day project.
Yeah.
And so how's the project doing? And can you tell us a bit more about this year's project?
The project has been going really amazingly. The previous editions, I think last year there was no edition because of, I don't know, I think maybe some people were missing, but we catch up with the previous project managers and teams, and they were really nice. I really thank so much Alejandra Piot or Pablo Hernandez or Lietuska, because they came us and give us so much precious feedbacks, which we implemented already in our course of action. Of course, so far it has been a fruitful 3.5, almost 4 months of work. You might have seen probably the video trailer. And by the way, I'd like to thank you again for allowing me to use some of the video contents you have on YouTube, because we wanted to have, just pop up that this year will be 35th anniversary. Is something big. Europe in the last 45 years old changed so much. And also in these days, Europe has been changing so much. And I think it's a really important step and landmark for AEGEE Europe to celebrate. And we wanted to make everyone be able to celebrate, because sometimes it's not the first project I mean. It's hard to make every local to be connected with, because, well, you have different locals of different dimension, different, resources, different location. So it's hard to connect together. But maybe to try to be more inclusive in terms of rules, in terms of, possibilities and chances to join. So we allow them with various type of activities to be part of this. And I think despite all of this crisis, still lots of locals can celebrate a lot.
How many locals have been committing themselves to participate so far?
So far, we've got a lot of good feedbacks from locals. We haven't had a precise number, because still the project will be ongoing from April 11th. But we received something like 15 to 20 locals writing us or asking us for information already, which is amazing. Plus, we have 3 incredible good ambassadors. One is Anne from Utrecht, Chiara from Verona, and Luismi from Valladolid. They've been working so nicely so far, as well as Damla from Eskişehir and Emre from Ankara, and Isa and of course Batu from Sede and AEGEE Europe. So far, I think we can get to a really good outreach. Possibly, maybe saying 50 locals isn't a big number to say, but it's our ultimate goal.
50 sounds very good. Actually, the promotion video that you mentioned is excellent. I think you got some positive feedback regarding that.
Yeah, we have had it. more or less we got almost 2,000 views between Facebook and Instagram. Lots of people just got impressed by the video. Also because lots of video makers were involved into this. We've had I don't know, just in the list we got Veronica from Asia London. Veronica from Asia Alicante, or yeah, Veronica also from Asia London, or lots of locals. I mean, there's Muhammad Ali Turk from Eskişehir, and many others. Like I got contact. I just went one day on YouTube to digit AEGEE on the YouTube search bar, and I ended up into videos like from members maybe you never heard. Maybe we're just there once in some university, which did such a great videos. Like there's this guy from AEGEE Budapest. His name is Matej Ivani. He made such a great, awesome video about his TSU in Niš in Serbia. I mean, I just get to him, contacted via private message. He was so much enthusiastic to be part of this and to just put a little bit of their videos in. And here we are. Like. I think it's a good thing in perspective to locals to do. Just keep the quality high and even involve lots of people you probably don't know. Yeah. Luckily, also I don't know. There was also Luca Bisighini, the filmmaker of AEGEE documentary, The Art of the Possible, who just told me, yeah, sure. I mean, everything can help AEGEE. Just go for it.
There's definitely a lot of video talent or talented video makers in the network. Would be better. Sometimes I wish they were a bit more connected, like we had with AEGEE TV. But still, it's great that you take the videos. But another thing, the AEGEE Day is actually on 16th of April. But for your project, for the AEGEE Day project this year, you extended the period, right?
Yeah. It will be from 11th to 26th, so it will be 2 full weeks. We extended because some locals asked us correctly to try to match their calendar, because some locals, of course, plan in with a lot of advance. I mean, also my local in Italy, Brescia, do that. So I think like more or less like 5 to 6 locals asked us, hey, can we just do it maybe a few days before or a few days later? And of course, we can't, extend too much the time span, because you can't have 365 days of AEGEE Day. Plus, on 26th of April, which will be the very last day, it will be 2 weeks before Agora Yerevan. So we have, to rush in order to provide materials for the Agora. So we want everyone to have, a good video trailer to be pop up and energized during the Agora, but also from the next editions of AEGEE Day. And we want, as a team of AEGEE Day, to make them realize that it's not just an anniversary. It's like just a day where we remind ourselves what we are and where we want to go, but also, especially due to this year's topic, what we were. I mean, the whole thing started over in 1985. If you just go check a political map of 1985 and just check right now, you probably find out, 30 plus differences, and plus many other things happen,
It was the Cold War. That's the biggest difference. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was Berlin, or AEGEE Berlin, who organized an event to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Berlin Wall. So yeah, I mean, it would be even nicer this year to reconnect with European history and what happened during the last 35 years, because many things changed so drastically. I mean, just think about me, or many others. I'm living in a country which 30 years ago, when I was born, it was under communism. So.
Okay, you just had a team meeting tonight. Yeah. So what did you talk about, and what kind of results do you have from the team meeting today?
It was amazing because due to this emergency, we wanted, again, all locals to be part of this. And due to that, we reconverted the whole booklet into online action. So imagine, of course, there were 24 activities, and some of them were really, really hard to implement regularly as online action. Of course, some of them will be reconverted into, Skype meeting, or e-gaming or esports instead of, doing regular sports. but many others took a little bit of creativity from the team to be able to come up with something really creative and doable for each local. Of course, it will be somehow strange because, of course, when we first thought about the booklet itself and each activity, and also I would like to thank again all the 5 bodies involved, which are HRC and Strategy and Sustainable Committee, NetCom, which have been so much helpful, and lastly the Gender Equality Interest Group. It's hard to reconvert something you think as a workshop, as an activity, as I don't know, even a party itself, into something doing online. But we came up with a 1 hour Skype. We have the really fruitful discussion because, of course, our team is various. We have people from Spain, Italy, me living in Poland, Turkey at the same time, and having such fruitful discussion, but also sometimes funny because, of course, it's so much impromptu and so much preposterous in all this thinking that was funny overall.
Yeah. How did the Corona crisis play a role in the meeting today?
Pretty much. I mean, we have me in Poland, which is locked down, Luismi, which is in Spain, and they're facing a really crisis there. Anne is in Netherlands, and they have university blocked there. Chiara is in Italy, so is in Verona, next to my house, so she's facing the whole thing. And Isa is in Brussels, which is still somehow open, but as we can see, as we got information, Asia Europe is somehow blocked till April because of this crisis. So yeah, we are more or less we got surprised by all this thing, but also we're so much motivated to bring to whole Asia a really great project to be part of, and also to be entertained from. Of course, it's not just an anniversary. We want people to celebrate, and we want even just to take out a little bit of your brain from what's going on and put it aside and think, well, here's the whole anniversary, let's celebrate regardless of this.
Thank you very much. Basically, I don't have any other question to you. Do you?
Welcome.
Thank you. That was very, very interesting. And I wish you all the best for the project, and keep us updated.
Oh, thank you. We will. And soon, on our social media, like Asia Day on Instagram and Facebook. But also, I think on the mailing list, we'll publish all this new updates. So you'll enjoy this. And of course, we will do all of our best to bring as much as more possible Asia close to you, even if it's your home.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome.